Hey everyone, this is Sarah with Hardcore Vigilante Studios, and welcome back to another amazing videos. So a while ago, I think it was 2 videos ago, I posted a video where I attempted to draw some curly hair. Actually, I attempted to paint some curly hair, and I was using black because the model had black hair, and I was doing just ink wash on top of ink wash, and I ended up making her fro look kind of just like a black blob on top of her head, and the parts of her hair that were lighter ended up looking really gray, so she kind of just looked like the Bride of Frankenstein a bit as far as her hair was concerned. And I was really disappointed in how that piece came out, because that's kind of one of my main complaints about when people draw black hair, and not black hair as in the color black, but as in black women's hair, biracial hair. They kind of just put like this wavy, curly little flop on top of people's heads, and they're like, boom, there, it's a fro. And it's like, you're kind of missing all of the intricate details of the curls and the tiny little curls that go into making that fro look really cute and intricate. And it happens a lot with black hair, now the color black. So this can get really confusing. It happens a lot with the color black hair, and then also with the type of black woman hair that is referred to as 4C curl. And that is like the really super tight, really tiny curls where it literally looks like somebody took your hair and curled it on toothpicks. Like it is intense how tiny those curls are. And I really love them because they're just so cute and they're just so tiny, and it would be such a challenge to get that look correct. So I challenged myself to do it. In this video, I'm finally going to do it, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And the trick to being successful when painting the color black hair, people with the black hair color, okay? Black women with also the hair color that is black, is to use different shades of black. So my mistake last time was just using one color, and that was ink wash, and just sort of trying to go lighter shades, and they just ended up being gray. This time I actually designated colors. So on the lighter spectrum, it was yellow, and I mixed yellow with black, and I got this nice yellow color, which worked because her background is green and yellow. Then I mixed different shades with black, because sometimes when you look at people's hair, if it's a raven, if it's really shiny, it kind of looks a little reflective, a little blue. So for example, for her hair here, I used several different shades of black. I used yellow black for the highlights, so I put that down first as the base color, and whatever didn't get colored by the darker versions of black that I then mixed would be shown through. Then next I mixed blue black at varying shades, like some lighter blue black and some light purple black, and then I did some really dark, deep purple blacks for the back of her hair, like where the shadows are the deepest. And there's no pure black on her hair. It is just different shades and different types of black. And then here you can see from the footage that when I'm layering these colors on top of each other, they don't just blend into one giant mass. You can see all of the intricate details of the curls. And when I'm done painting the entire hair, you can still see it. It still stands out. Even from afar, you can see the detail. And so, yeah, that was pretty much what I was attempting to do for this video, and I was really happy at how successful it turned out. And now, I guess we can talk about the rest of the painting. I've been having a lot of trouble getting darker skin tones, mainly because I guess I'm starting off on plain paper. I need to test out my theory, which is that if I draw on toned paper, it'll be easier for me to get the correct skin tone, because I won't have to do so many layers. So one of my biggest sort of like fears and like anxieties that I get when I'm drawing women with darker color skins is the amount of layering that I'm having to do, and I don't want the paper to sort of rip or like shred, get wet and like weird, so it's like sort of peeling off. And I guess normally like that wouldn't be a problem if I had watercolor paper, but I ran out for this piece. I ran out of my warm press watercolor paper, which is smooth, and I love it that way because you don't have like the texture of watercolor paper messing up like the smoothness of a person's face. That's one of the things that always sort of bugged me about watercolor paper, is you're drawing this person and this person's skin is smooth, but the paper's just like, it's got all of these textures on it when you use cold press. So I normally like to use hot press when I'm doing portraits, but I ran out of that, so I was using Bristol board, and I was getting a little anxiety as I was layering the paint on the paper. Some of the areas looked like they were, a little bit of paper was coming up, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll stop. And you can see that I go in with some of the Copic markers, just trying to get certain areas darker than I was originally able to get them. I think I might also try one last attempt at doing this, is also to mix the browns with other colors like blues and purples and reds as well, because that worked pretty successfully for the hair. One of the problems I was also having is, as I was layering things on top of each other, I felt like I was losing sort of the shading and the detail, and I was having to go over the same areas over and over again, just trying to get that dimension in her face. So maybe if I do different colors that aren't necessarily considered like skin tone colors, like, you know, blue and purple, and I can create greater depth and dimension. Let's move on to talking about the details. So I was really excited about all of the details. I purchased several things online. I purchased gold leaf, liquid gold leaf, because as I was watching YouTube videos about gold leafing, there were a lot of comments saying that it was really, I guess, hard to apply, and it was one of those things that you really had to practice. And so I was like, you know what, just in case this doesn't really work out, I'm going to get some liquid gold leaf, and then I will just, you know, I know how to paint, so I can use that instead of having to go through all of that trouble. And so that's what I used for this piece, was just the liquid gold leaf, because a lot of the details were really tiny, and I didn't want to sort of mess anything up with the gold leaf, considering I didn't have a chance to play with the blue or test anything out. So next time I will do that. This is actually surprisingly the first angel that I've done. Normally my characters are on the darker side of things. They normally have horns, or I did a whole series about sort of teenage demons, and they had wings, but they were demons, so not so angelic. Their wings were like darker, sort of like dragony looking, so I was like, you know what, I want to do someone that is like literally just an angel with the gold on her shoulders, like the sun. Just like imagine if she was just dipped in gold sun, because yes, the sun is made out of gold. That is exactly how gold works. Science backs this up. It's like the sun, it's gold. That's why everyone keeps trying to go to the sun, right? So that is the story behind her. She's just this beautiful angel. I guess she's flying through a forest because her background's green, but I don't know, it just complemented her skin color very well. So I was like, you know what, we'll keep it. And there was just like a lot of details in this piece. I kind of went a little crazy, just adding the gold leaf and sort of like white highlights and just having fun with it. And I did end up adding a lot of sparkle and glam to the wings, just to kind of like hide the fact that I didn't really do such a great job at rendering out the wings. And it's mainly because I didn't actually sketch them out, like each individual feather, before I sort of conceptualized the fact that I was going to do this. So once I actually got into painting it, I was like, oh, you know what, I didn't really sort of think too much about what shape the wings were going to be, or the feathers, or anything like that. But then I didn't want to get too detailed with the feathers, because the wings were more of like an accent, like there's something that's attached to her, and I didn't want the wings to become like this major focal point with like overly exaggerated wings. So I just wanted the main focal point to be on her face and on her hair, and so I just ended up just adding gold, and I think the wings actually came out looking surprisingly well, especially considering I didn't have too much forethought in how I wanted them to be. Alright, and that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep the dream alive. And if you would like to see more posts like this on the daily, you can follow me on my Instagram account at HV_studios on IG. If you want to support this channel, I have a link in my description to my Etsy shop where you can purchase my coloring book that I currently have on sale, as well as a link to Skillshare. If you use the link in the description or you can get 2 months free Skillshare, and you will also be supporting this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.